Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are interviewing Sef Alchemist. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Hi everyone.
Today we're talking about supernatural gifts and abilities, your own, our gifts and abilities, how to embrace them, how to come to your power, how to realize what kind of abilities and gifts you have, and literally like anything in regards of this theme. And if you have any questions, we always looking out for the chat section or the comments. So let us know any questions you have in regards of supernatural gifts and abilities. Hi everyone who's already watching. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm gonna start with the biggest question.
Well, maybe we give them a little introduction about supernatural gifts and abilities and what they are, and if you want.
Yes, so because I'm a host, so I'm asking you. So what is it for you, supernatural gifts and abilities?
Supernatural gifts and abilities. It's basically people who are born with abilities that cannot be understood in our modern day and age by science or by people, like things that cannot be explained easily. So when you can see the spirit realm, or when you can talk to spirits or talk to things or to ghosts or to things that are not there, and then you can be psychic, you can be a medium, you can talk to the dead, and then you can feel these things. And if you feel them and you can hear them, but there's no proof, you can't prove that you hear them or you see them. So that's supernatural, So we don't have a device in our modern day and age that can prove that we can talk to ghosts or spirits. And when that happens, you enter the realm of the paranormal, and the people who can have they're basically skills that other people don't have. So that's what they are. That's if you want to define it in kind of a logical way, in a way that makes sense, because people think that, so you're like a superhero, you're gonna fly, or you're gonna teleport or break walls without hurting yourself, or the stuff that they see in movies. They think that's what supernatural abilities are. But supernatural abilities is basically being able to communicate with the other side, with the unseen, seeing and communicating with the world of the spirits.
Telekinesis,
yes,
like remote viewing,
that's part of it too. I can myself, I can do remote viewing, but I can't really control it. But if I sit down in a meditative state, I can actually see myself in many other places or other rooms or other eras, and I've had this experience many times, and I see it while with my eyes closed. I close my eyes and I'm not sleeping, but I start seeing, and sometimes it's actually crazy. It's as vivid as daylight. There's this one time I remember I was meditating, and then this remote viewing experience happened, and I saw myself in a room. It's not like I visualized myself. I started seeing another room, and this room, I remember it had this chair, and the chair was red, and it looked like it's from the 17th century, what's that style? What do you call that style?
Gothic?
Yeah, exactly. And the chair was red, and there was wallpaper kind of decoration, and it was so beautiful. And I saw myself in that room, and I actually was so shocked that I opened my eyes, and then I'm like, because I was freaking out, I'm like, where am I? Because I was seeing there while I was where I was, So it's kind of, it's hard to explain. It's hard to tell this and expect people to believe you, because how can you make people believe you, So
yeah, so literally, so we're going to be talking about this, guys. If you have any questions, because I think it's so nice, because we're going to be asking Sef a lot today.
Well, we want to hear your experience as well.
Yeah, my experience as well. So guys, if you have any questions to both of us, or just questions about your gifts and abilities, let us know. I'm actually going to check comments right now and see who is joining the live. Hi everyone who is watching. And
hello.
Yes, hi Infinite Health. Hi Lunara. Seed. Hi, thank you for joining. Charles, yeah, made it.
So,
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
thank you guys for joining. It's a lot of people already saying hi. Greetings to you guys.
Thank you so much for joining. And actually, Muhammad asking good question. This is the question that I was about to ask.
Yeah.
How do you know your own gifts and abilities? How was it for you when you realized who you are?
For me, it kicked in such a natural way. But was it really natural? I don't know, because it came to a point where it just was activated. Like I was sitting one day, and I was by myself, and I wasn't intoxicated with any, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking. There was nothing in my body that, because a lot of people were like, well, I saw myself with Thoth and Buddha and these other entities, and then you're like, so what were you on? You're like, well, it was during an ayahuasca trip, or I just smoked, smoked something before that, and then no, it happened for me. It happened. I wasn't on anything. I wasn't even drinking alcohol, and it just happened. And but it's almost like when it happened for me, it was the time where the universe was like this. It's like, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, because I was living life in such a what's the word for it? In such a I was just living life like everyone else. I wasn't. I was just a follower. I was just like I was so asleep in the matrix, in the matrix of life.
I think that's what it's called, like awakening, the first awakening, when you start realizing there's something more.
Yeah, and I think that was the time when the universe wanted to wake me up against my will. And that's how you know the gifted people always have a purpose. They have a purpose because they get woken up against their will. Maybe my normal self wanted to stay there, but the universe was like, no, you're not gonna stay there. And then that one day it just happened, and I was in a meditative state again. I was just like closing my eyes, and I was just relaxing, and I started seeing I started seeing the spirit realm. I started seeing spirits and these faces I've never seen before, and they were coming to me, and they were clear, and they were right there. And it was a terrifying experience, by the way. It wasn't peaches and cream. It wasn't like something like, oh, so good, oh my god. I was terrified. It was scary. It was really scary. This happened more than a decade ago, or about a decade ago, when it happened for the first time for me. But that was the sign for the universe to be like, wake up. No more sleeping anymore. It's time to wake the F up. It's time to wake the F up. And I think if that happens to you, that, because most people, they're like, how do I awaken? There's no how do I awaken. If you're gonna get awakened, you're gonna get awakened.
It's either happening or not.
Yeah, and until you get awakened, you're not gonna awaken. So you're gonna know it when you know it. You'll know it when you know it. So
yeah, I think for majority of people, it's usually unpleasant experience, something scary happening, and that's when people go into research and looking for answers.
Yes.
But also for a lot of people, a lot of you guys watching, you know, if this like normal life that you live, that you have, when it's on paper, looks like everything is perfect, like you have everything, like your American dream, your European dream, whichever dream you have, and you have it, and you're supposed to be happy, but something is missing. Some people always say like there's a void, or something, it feels empty. Like there is part of you that like not happy, even though you have everything. You can have even like your children, like a perfect marriage, something is missing. So this is the part of you that's your gift. Maybe it's sleeping, maybe it's dormant, maybe you don't even realize who you are. So when you have this void, I would say, so that's how you know there's something in you. You have a gift.
Did you experience that as well?
All my life.
Like before, like you felt like there was something missing.
Always there's something missing. I would be like, I would achieve all my goals and dreams, and I would be on the peak of my tiny empire before, and then it's still missing.
Yes.
And it's not something that you can feel with like a marriage or material things or career, like normal life. It's nothing like that. And then when you realize like, what is this? And then you start asking questions. And then it's just I think because for me it never happened like for you in this like
abrupt way,
very negative way. It's just like I was just like questioning a lot of things, but a lot of people who are gifted, like I've been noticing more and more, you guys, you never start thinking that this is in you, that this is your gift or ability. You usually seek other answers or ask for you ask different questions. You never like approach it that there is something in you. And a lot of people like that, like a lot of gifted people, they tend to like watch tarot readings, they tend to do research on astrology, on like sacred geometry. I know you started from sacred geometry. It's like you delve into a cult as I would say as a client.
So from a client perspective.
From a client perspective. But then if you are there as a client perspective, there is a reason why you're there, because if you don't have it in you, it means you would never go for it. It's like
that's true. That's true. And even for me, like I remember before I got into tarot, I became obsessed with watching tarot and reading about tarot, and I was observing it I mean, I even got a reading from you back in the day, so that was also a sign, because you know that there's something in you that wants to awaken. And also to build on what you said earlier about the void that you feel, I think for me that abrupt awakening that happened, it happened at a period of time where I was feeling this kind of emptiness. And as you said, on paper, I had it all. I had a great job, great apartments, money, all of these things, material things, And then the more you get of these material things, and the more you get of all of these things that people think will bring you that happiness or that void, the more you get that, and the more I got of that, the more I realized that nothing was changing. It was just like the same over.
It's like the same routine, the same cycle.
Nothing was improving or changing.
So when you asking yourself what kind of gift you have, and how to find out who you are, the easiest way without wasting your time, without like going into the years of research, is actually to get a reading from someone who can tell you right away who you are. It's either a palm reading, tarot reading, like smoke scrying, candle wax, whichever it is. If a person have this on their store, or like they offer this kind of service of telling you who you are, there's a lot of people who actually can do that. Like I myself, is my favorite type of reading, to tell you your gifts and abilities. I know you do this too. You have like there's even if you're shy, you don't want to talk to us in person, there's like email readings when you can order and ask, and this is going to be the question. Like I love to always like receive the photos of my clients' palms and then see their gifts and abilities, because they always in palms. And then when you see this, it's so easy for you guys. Then it's like a start. Even though if you don't believe in the beginning, maybe it's like it's too much for you to understand that this is actually your gift. But then it comes. At least it's like at least some of the questions answers. It's like it start making sense. If for some reason you can't get a reading, or you don't know anyone who can give you this information, I think the easiest way in the beginning is just actually follow intuition. So, for example, if you've been watching like religiously the tarot readings, and now you're a tarot reader, so make connections. Whatever it is you're watching like religiously, if you're watching some witch preparing like some kind of herb magics and talismans, or doing any like witchcraft and like working with maybe candles, maybe this is who you are, because there is no coincidences. Like this is what you enjoy, this is who you are. If you're watching someone casting runes, maybe you should buy your own set of runes. If you are into crystals, maybe you're a crystal witch. If you are into like sacred geometry, occult, like alchemy, so maybe you're an alchemist. Maybe you just need to delve into like symbology. And like for example, Sef started his when he was normal. I think you were still normal. You started your YouTube channel like sacred geometry
as a hobby, as a side thing. I started as a side thing.
By the way, guys, check it out. It's like it's an amazing it's channel so much information on sacred geometry, and it's so nicely done. It's so understandable, so easy to approach, and then to actually take in.
Thank you.
And then now I think it's like subconsciously it's led you to become a sigil master. You actually create your own sigils, and if you didn't do your research for years about the sacred geometry, if it wouldn't become a YouTube channel, like you wouldn't know now what it is and how to do it.
No, it was all about following intuition, as you said. Like you just follow that hint of intuition, And I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to explore sacred geometry myself and what it means. And I even, to the point where I didn't even name a channel or anything, I just called it Sacred Geometry. That's
I don't know what is it.
So I just called it Sacred Geometry, and then I explored what sacred geometry is and what it's all about, and I put it in a video format as a side thing. It was never my main thing, and I was surprised by how much how much intrigue it awakened in people, in the viewers. I couldn't believe that so many people were interested in watching those videos, because I did them just for fun, for myself. I didn't do them for any, to be honest. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it on YouTube, I'm gonna call it Sacred Geometry, and that's it. And then from there, but that was the kickstart to what led next to the occult and alchemy and sigils, because you can't understand sigils if you don't know sacred geometry, if you don't understand the basic of sacred geometry and what is geometry, what is all about, and the meaning of each shape, the meaning of the square, of the triangle, of the hexagon, of the cube, of the Metatron's cube, of all of these shapes, then you're not gonna understand what sigils are, because I believe these are codes that help in the occult in general.
Yes. So guys, whatever it is you're in at the moment, whatever it is you like to watch, follow, it's probably this is something that you can do yourself. So try it out. It's like from the perspective of a follower, try to become a practitioner, start to try everything that you're drawn to, and then see how it feels, and see if you actually connect with this. Is this is something that you want to try, and this is something that you want to become. And whatever resonates, whatever sets your heart on fire, and gives you this idea, I want to try this, I want to be this, probably this is who you are. And if you don't try, you never know. So practice
a lot of practice. And it's a good point. Whatever you're obsessed with, that's there's probably something there. Whatever you're obsessed with.
Exactly. So guys, hi everyone who's joining. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Hi everyone.
Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, let us know. I think we can go through chat and see if you guys have any questions. Because there's a lot of
there's
messages.
a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, Christina, happy holidays to you too. Someone loves your necklaces.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So
I think you guys just chatting with each other, which is amazing. Hi everyone who's joining.
So if you guys have any questions about how to awaken your gifts and abilities, then let us know. Let us know, and we can answer you for that. I think.
Charles asking, would you guys be willing to give maybe some general abilities of what folks may have? It's very, if you're meaning in a way that people who's watching, it's actually kind of hard to just give abilities based on your nickname on YouTube.
It's kind of you have to first. It's more complicated than just saying, "Hey, this is your name. This is what you are." You can, because I think they probably refer to one of your lives where you did a name meaning.
Yes,
but that's different, right?
That's name meaning. That doesn't mean that you actually have this abilities. It's just the energy that your name carry.
There's a question. Alchemy. Alk. Sef, are you an old soul by any chance?
Happy Dark Christmas. Thank you, Infinite Health. Happy Dark Christmas to you too. So what was the questions? Which one you were reading?
I think here.
I think I lost it.
Yeah, it was there's a lot of questions here.
I see a question like this one. Is there a meditation I can do to know what my abilities are? Because I know you, Sef, you personally meditated a lot. Did it help you to actually understand your abilities, or?
It does in a way. It does in a way. But if you're just gonna meditate for the sake of thinking that something is gonna happen, then probably meditation is not gonna help. Because for me, I did meditation to explore what was going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to awaken it. Meditation for me didn't awaken anything. It was just to explore what was happening to me. Because when I started researching, some people were saying that meditating might help. It's your third eye opening, stuff like that, like a lot of Hindu concepts. So I started meditating to see if I can explore what was going on. And a lot of the visions and accessing the spirit realm happened during the meditation. But it would happen every time I'm having a meditative state. I don't have to follow meditation. I could be just lying down and closing my eyes like this, and then it would work. It would work anytime. It doesn't require me any process. But if you feel that meditation can help you develop or awaken something, for me, it didn't awaken anything, because I did meditation after I was awakened. Not Some people think they meditate their whole life, or they meditate for 10 years, and they're like, well, where are my abilities? I can't see them. I've been meditating for 10 years, so you have to play with these tools and see what works for you. Yeah.
What was the tool that actually helped you the most to realize your abilities and understand what they are?
So for me, it's so tarot. I mentioned it before so many times, but tarot it's an incredible tool. And research in alchemy, especially alchemy. So the moments, because you're gonna get these hinges of like this, what you call intuition, or accessing things that you can't explain. And the only way for me to find answers was to do research. That's the only way. And a lot of people, they're like, in social media, they come with questions such as, I have this. Tell me what is this? Tell me what is that? And I'm like, you guys have seen none of the research I've done for the past 10 years. It's 10 years of reading and researching and hearing and I won't ask anyone. I'm not gonna go online. I didn't ask people. I would do my own research, But people don't see that. What they see is just like, well, how do you know? And then it's like whatever is happening to you, you do your research, and then you realize, oh, that's what's happening to me. Oh, that. Because it happened to someone in the past and they figured out what it is. And then taking that information to, when you apply it to what's happening to you, then you start connecting the dots, And tarot is one of those tools. So alchemy, tarot, and the occult in general. It's like, because if I didn't do this research, if I didn't do it, I would still be lost. I wouldn't know anything. I would not. Like, I might watch tarot readings out there and I'll be like, all right, it's fun. And that's it. That's all about, it's like you can read tarot. You can even learn, you can learn basic tarot. You can learn what major arcanas are, and you can still know nothing. You can know what major arcanas mean, and you can know the suits, and you can know what pentacle means, and what swords means, and what water and air.
Especially that's where it sounds.
Yeah, and you can learn all of that, and you'd still know nothing. You can, so it's intensive, in-depth research, and I know for you too, the amount of research that you guys don't know, the amount of crazy research which has been doing for years. You guys have no idea the amount of. Like
I still do it. Like I think it's never ending process.
And something you don't mention is that you're a bookworm. Like something that she never talks about is the amount of books she reads. Like, and not novels about like books, like occult books. She read thousands of books. Have you guys read thousands of books? Because Innate has read thousands of books.
Well, listen to thousands of books, because I know you don't like to read, but you like to listen to books.
For me, listening, reading, just like parts of books, not the whole book, parts of books, listening to audiobooks, just anything that comes my way, anything. Because we have the internet, which is an amazing tool. You can find anything you want on the internet, you know. And the internet have also old manuscripts and old books and ancient scripts. You can find all of that on the internet. It's crazy. You don't need to go to Harvard Library to access.
I think this is like the best like century for us to live in, because all the information is so accessible for anyone. You don't have even to spend money on it if you don't have it. Like it's so easy if you're just willing to spend time on it.
Yeah.
And I think the choices that you make actually always like leading you to become who you are. If you're willing to spend this time, your life, like even money, you know, sometimes you have to pay for things. So instead of paying for like going out, you actually paying for a book that you're supposed to read. Exactly. It's also helps
taking it seriously. Yeah.
I also love reading books from practitioners, because this is a point when you can find like a lot of ancient books, manuscripts for people who never practiced, from people who are bookworms and they just like studying and they're putting it all together in a beautiful format. But when it comes to actually practicing your gift and becoming who you are, I think only people who are practitioners, the information that they can share and the way they describe it, it helps so much with your own path.
Yes.
Like, for example, I love your book, How to Embrace Your Darkness, because this is such a hard topic to to talk about and even to find this information, because darkness is such a obscure topic, and a lot of people take it differently, and I think approaching it wrong. Like the way you talk about darkness, it's so like your sacred geometry is so understandable, so easy. Your book is awesome, guys. I have the link below if you want to find some answers on your own darkness, what it is and how to embrace it, how to actually like understand what it is, like, and what you are. I've read the book. I like it.
Thank you so much. Well, your book is amazing too, the Tarot Grimoire. That's amazing as well. Yeah,
this is
really
my
cool.
It's more practical book. Yours is like more answering a lot of questions.
It's well, it's just about embracing darkness, which is a lot of people are trying to understand, and it's the book answers some questions. So definitely.
And Infinite Health is asking, are you born with the gifts or you can acquire them through practice? Thank you so much. This is actually an amazing question. Do you think, do you know if you're born with your gift or you acquire them?
I think my general answer to this, my general answer is that you're born with them. You're born with your gifts. You can work on them, you can practice them, you can brush them up, you can enhance them, you can improve them. But you can also be born without any gifts. You can. But then can you acquire them later in life? I believe that it's all about the power of belief. So if you believe that you can acquire those gifts, if you believe in yourself, which only few human beings can do on this planet, if you believe really, really in yourself, that you can acquire those gifts later, then it's going to happen. But most of the time, if you're born with them, you're born with them. If you're not, you're not. Just don't break your head. Don't think that you're Superman if you don't come from the planet where Superman was born from. so you know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, you know. But that's my opinion.
I agree. I actually agree. I know that a lot of people are actually born with their gifts, and in their life they actually acquire more gifts. It's like they practice and they become more powerful. They open more I think it's very important to be born with a gift, because it makes it so much easier. It's already a shortcut to so much power that you can.
It's a short, that's for sure. That's true.
There are people who are born without gifts. A lot of people are born without gifts, and those are the ones who are most likely never going to watch anything that has to do with occult tarot, because they don't have it in them. They don't have this need to actually even seek these answers or look for this information.
That's true.
So usually 99% of the cases, if you guys watching, it means you already have some kind of
you have the gifts, because those people are not going to be here watching us or watching any videos, even tarot videos. They probably think it's a lot of BS.
If you're not like if you don't like sport, you're never gonna watch soccer or something. So, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's if at some point of life, if you're not born with gifts, you can acquire some gifts, some abilities, but to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because some doors, some gates are still going to be closed. There are
Yes.
some things that you cannot do. Even when it comes to people who are born with gifts, they have specific big gifts. Like if you're born energy healer, most likely it's going to be very hard for you to work with demons or like to do some kind of like magic ritual, because for you it doesn't make sense because you work through your energy. And if you're a born witch and you're supposed to do rituals and like cast spells and write grimoires, it's very hard for you to heal someone just like by using your hands. So even gifts, they have some kind of limitations, because some of the gifts are given to you so you can use them easier, and some abilities are actually going to take you a little bit away of path from your personal growth, because it's gonna take you more time to realize how to work with them.
Yeah.
So interesting question, actually. It's a very interesting question.
For sure.
The last question: what does it mean when your intuitive psychic self goes off track? Where does it go?
I see people having a lot of chat. It's like a nice and cozy chat you guys have in there.
Hi, Kisara. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for giving out the website. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, hi everyone who is joining. And Infinite Health asking, can you take over others people's gifts if they don't want to use them?
Ooh, take over other people's gifts.
There is actually a thing like a gift that's been passed down, like in witchcraft. Witches actually, they have this ability to pass down the gifts, and shamanism also. It's kind of take over a gift, because some people, if they don't use it, the universe itself just like takes the gift away.
Yeah.
So if you know how to do it, I think you can take over a gift from someone.
Oh, it's like I believe you can pass down a gift. You can't pass it down, but for taking over, that could be. You need to be really powerful, or have a huge amount of power, like in order to be able to do that. And the other person who has the gifts, I think they have to be kind of also. Not because if they're also, if they're some powerful, mage or witch, then it's hard to take their gifts from them. So maybe if they're weak enough, then you can take over their gifts. But that's actually a tricky question. That's very tricky. That's very tricky.
Guys, can you still hear us? Because I've seen you guys were saying that there is no sound. There is a problem with the audio.
There's a problem with the audio. Oh,
thank you, Kisara.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's good. You're here. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah. And
so let's see. Can you guys hear us here? Because is the audio back?
I see a question. Can you know someone gives just by his name? Sometimes, but I think it requires a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think the name has a specific energy that can help your gift. It can protect you. It can actually enhance your gift. It can be some kind of talisman. But the name itself doesn't mean that you're going to be born with a gift and that you carry a gift, because name is given to you. So sometimes it's just the name even doesn't represent you.
Yeah.
So not by the name. Yeah. And one can say maybe not take over, affect the person. I think we can affect people in the way that we don't even realize.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, affects, just by even energy and. Yeah,
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Interesting question. Why people stare at someone? Because I know you get a lot of stares.
Yeah, it's because it depends. It depends on the stare. Like, but stares usually, because the stares I get are usually very like. It's like every time I get stared at, it's like you want a piece of me, you know, like what are you looking at, you know? That's the stares I get. So stares is when your energy is intimidating. You get stared at when your energy is intimidating, or when your energy is attractive. So it's either or. So for example, if you get stared at and you have some amazing energy, you know, you get that. You're the opposite of me. Like I get stares that are very scary, and you get stares that are like, oh, you know. It's like for you, people want to talk to you, people want to come to you, people want to, you know, they want to ask you questions. That's how they stare at you. For me, the stare is always it's very like, and sometimes it's most of the time it comes from guys. It's not even from girls. It's from guys, and guys always look at me like, you know, they just stare, and it's kind of like it's always the energy is either intimidating or it's fascination or intimidation. Fascination, it means your energy is more crazy than the other person's. It's strong. It's a strong energy, and that's why the people with weaker energies, they
get intimidated.
They're like, you know, and that's why they stare. And sometimes they don't even catch themselves staring. They're just staring, and then you stare back, and you keep staring back at them, and then they do this, and then because they don't even realize that they're staring, you know. So it's very interesting. So probably because the person who asked the question is probably because your energy is really strong. You have a very strong energy that makes people look at you without even them realizing it, you know.
Yeah. I think it has to do with our abilities, because unusual people always attract everyone. It's like when you walk, because you're so connected to darkness and you're so powerful. So that's why the stares, because you give out an unusual vibe.
Yes,
and maybe that's why people stare.
Yeah.
So usually if people stare, if they notice you, unless you dressed like a Christmas tree, that's a normal explanation why they stare or something.
Yeah.
But if you actually like you look normal to some extent, they stare because there's something in you that they get attracted to. They're pulled in. It's like
exactly. That's true.
I myself, you always stare at people with gifts and abilities. If I walk somewhere and I see gifted people, usually the aura is so crazy, and that's why I can't stop staring, because it's so interesting to just look. Or they have beings, or they have like crazy activities around them, or they followed by ghosts. Of course, I'm gonna stare. So if gifted people stare at you, like people who can see you, or that's interesting stare. That's you wanna find out why they're staring, because there's a specific person they're actually staring at you.
That's true. That's true. Here I see Amy Pellin. What's the name of both of your books? So Ina is the name of her book is the Tarot Grimoire, and for mine the name of my book is How to Embrace Your Darkness. And I think the links are
down below.
So you can get them at our website.
Yeah, Sef's book, the link is there. My book, the link is there. You can go directly there and check it out. Hi, Sylvester.
Hello.
Hi, everyone who is joining.
Hi, everyone.
Kerry is asking, how do I stop blocking spiritual gifts?
Blocking spiritual gifts.
Just stop it.
Stop blocking spiritual gifts. Blocking spirit. How do you block spiritual gifts?
I think sometimes it has to do with fear. So if you sometimes like a lot of gifted people, they subconsciously fear that they come into this power, so they know the moment this power comes.
Oh, I see. They just cut it. It's kind of like
they don't want to, because the moment you come into your power, you know that you will no longer gonna have access to your normal life. So you might lose friends, family, job,
people you
everything, love, because you're gonna become different, and subconsciously you're not ready for the change, and you don't want to do this.
That's true.
And because of that, you actually block yourself. You don't want.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So
it's fear. It's fear of transformation.
It's like sometimes like when people they manifest abundance and they buy spells and the spell doesn't work. Like no one can help them. It's because they also fear the moment they're gonna achieve this money they want, like they're gonna get them. Something gonna change in their life. It might be like a fear that they're gonna become a different person. So they also stop in this. So it's usually fear. In order to stop it, I think you just have to figure out what is this fear, why is it there, like the root of the fear, and that's how you stop it.
That's true. It's I think it's that fear of becoming someone else, of becoming the new you, of becoming because when that transformation happens, no one is gonna just stick around you. People are just gonna, people don't relate anymore. They don't relate. Yeah.
Because it's at some point, I think every person, like if a person, they become alone.
Yeah.
And this is sometimes you feel this, that it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen if you become yourself. And it's very hard to lose connection to people that you know at the moment, especially if it's your family. If you know that your family will never understand it, it's such a great risk you're taking.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of the time, people who are living a very normal life, yet they have these kind of this awakening that's kicking in. They're gonna try their best to hide this and to kind of push it as deep as they can, so it doesn't, because once they go to their daily life and they meet normal people, they want to be as normal as possible. But deep inside, they're it's killing them. It's killing them inside out. And maybe that's how you block those abilities, because you just want to look and feel as just like everyone else. Maybe some demon is trying to communicate with you, and you're like, no, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything. And you're covering your ears, and you're like, no, it's not. And maybe the more you do of this, the more you're kind of killing that intuition. You're killing it. And it happens to a lot of kids.
Yeah.
In their childhood, when they block the abilities just to satisfy their parents, who are telling them, of course there's no ghost in the closet, you must be crazy, what are you talking about? But the kid is like, no, I see there's a ghost there, I see a kid or a little girl, and I talk to them, and they're my friends. And the parents,
don't be crazy.
The parents tell their kids, you don't be crazy, don't be stupid. They even say insulting words like stupid and crazy, and go to bed, there's nothing there. And then the kids might be having abilities, but then they kind of kill them. They shut them down. They just shut them down.
So yeah.
So
fear has a lot to do with it, like subconsciously even. So make sure to figure out why you are.
For sure.
Looking yourself. And is there any other way? I actually saw there's like a lot of questions about astral projection, astral traveling, if it's possible. What do you think?
Astral, I like astral projection in general. So astral projection is something that is it's huge in the spiritual or new age community. People who say that you can basically detach your soul and travel in the spirit realm at will. I think some people can do it. Some people have that gift. They can actually do it. They can detach their soul from their body at will. They can. And there's even people who teach techniques to do it. And I remember years and years and years ago, I tried to follow these techniques. I tried to kind of follow astral project. And like astral projecting, the way where they describe it, they're like you get out of, the soul gets out of the body, and then you see your body, and then you float around, and then you see, but you're floating. They show this stuff in movies too. In movies where they show that you're, that your soul is floating. So a lot of people, I believe that's possible. I believe, that's very possible. Personally, it never happened to me. For me, the closest thing to that is the remote viewing experiences I've had, where I would see myself somewhere else. It's not like my soul travels. So I was actually practicing these techniques of astral projection.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. Like the only paranormal thing that happened once was that I was practicing. I was following the steps. And I don't even remember the steps because it's happened years ago, years and years and years ago. And I was following the steps, and at some point in the steps, it was said that you're gonna hear this kind of noise in your ears. It's like a white noise. It's like a, like when TV channels, you can't hear them anymore, and they become like this. It's kind of a weird noise. And they said once you hear that, and then they said you hear a loud pitch. It's a loud pitch, and then your soul detaches. So for me, I got to the point where I heard that kind of noise, and I couldn't believe that it's actually scary. It's actually freaky. That noise was not pleasant at all. It was very freaky. But I got there, and then eventually I gave up. I was like, whatever. I was like, yeah. But I was at some point, I was obsessed with the astral projection. But the people who can do it, I think they can. And I think it's one of the gifts. It's like speaking to spirits.
Yeah.
I think some people can do it. Yeah.
I even met people who were able to do that, but I think it's a gift that they're born with. It's like since tiny age, like since being like kids, they were able to actually like leave their body and travel.
Yes. Yeah.
And
they can go to different places. Yeah.
And different dimensions, reality, the things they actually describe.
They describe some crazy things. Yeah. I think it's the spirit realm. That's where they go. It's the spirit realm.
Dimensions too. I think different dimensions. Honestly, so it's like a lot of places that they can visit. Yeah. Even the dimensions of gods. It's like.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's one of the most rarest abilities I've ever encountered.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they say they astral project and they see light and that's it. And I
don't think
that's
not. Be careful. That's not astral projection. No. The real astral projection is when people actually detach their soul from their body. Actually, not as like, oh, I meditated and I saw light and light. Oh, I'm back. No, cut the bullshit out. It's actually people who can actually take their souls out of their bodies. And as you said, those are very rare. They're rare. But it exists. It exists. Yeah. You know. You know.
Nana D is asking, having guardian demons, does it mean demons can possess or control our body just like in the movies? This is something all religious people are afraid of. Do you want to start?
I was talking for a while. I'll let you. I'll let you. You go on. You answer this one.
To me, it's like yes or no. There are different possessions and different encounters. Guardian demons usually means they guard. There are demons who messengers, guardians, wanderers. There are demons who have like different intentions. If you have a guardian demon, it means this is someone like a guardian angel. You don't expect guardian angel to possess your body. So why would you expect it from a demon? Yeah. If it's a religion connotation, I wouldn't believe it much because religion.
It's religion.
Yeah. If you're religious, you like 200% like believe everything it says and make peace with it and accept
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easier. If you start questioning, there's something with you. It means you don't like feel that religion tells you everything 100%. So do your own research. And I don't think guardian demons usually are. It's a positive or neutral presence. They're guarding you, like angel would do, or like your parents, like good parents would do. If you have one, it's also very rare to have a guardian demon. It's not everyone having like and walking with guardian demons everywhere, or angels, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they're there, it means they actually not only they guardian you per se, they guardian your bloodline or your soul. Like every reincarnation, you have the same guardian demon. Being possessed by a demon is also a rare gift and ability. It's usually only mediums or shamanic practitioners who also like on the search of like mediums, like easier to say, they can be possessed by demons, because in order to have your body being as a vessel to some kind of entity, regardless if it's a demon, if it's an angel, if it's a jinn, like anything, a freak, like doesn't matter. You have to be able to detach your soul from your body. It's yours. It's your ability. It's your gift. If you can do this, how powerful you are to give your body to some other entity. And then to connect. And then not only to connect, and then even able to hear and then speak. And some mediums, like crazy mediums, they actually speak in tongues. Not only they speak in their native language, but they speak in the like ancient languages, forgotten languages, the languages they never heard of. And they usually, these mediums, they work with a translator, with someone who translates, like mediator. So they deliver messages in the trance-like state. And there is a person who's supposed to translate, and usually these people, they only translate a chunk of information because this person might know like few languages. They don't know ancient, forgotten language. So It is possible, but it's not a guardian demon who's gonna take over your body. It's gonna be some kind of other entity, and usually those are messengers. Those are not guardian demons. Those are messengers.
Yeah. Like I also like the point you mentioned earlier about like how about like the demons possessing. It's a very religious connotation, and it's kind of like it misleads a lot of information that's out there, and if people believe that demons can possess you, then like if that's your belief, then it's a religious belief, you know. It just comes from religion. But being possessed by a demon, I believe that it can be possible, but not to scare you guys, they can be possible. It can. For me, I think it can, but it can only be possible if you're so weak. What do I mean by weak? So people who are depressed, people who are miserable, people who are basically have a very weak soul. So you're so weak to the level that you don't have control over yourself or your life, and you become just a vessel. And that happens when we get depressed. People, when they become having depressions, you know, and depression to the point where you become suicidal, like when you become really at the bottom. If you can't have control over your soul or your life, then there's gonna be a malicious entity that's gonna come and be like, oh, what an easy prey. They're just there. They're depressed. I can easily take over them. And that's why when you go to the most possessed stories out there that people talk about possessions, when you do research about the background of the people who are possessed and see what kind of life they were having, most of them were either very depressed, or they lived in very abusive families. It's always fights, problems, drama, you know. It's a lot of negativity. It's a lot of negativity surrounding these people, and it makes them so weak that any entity can come and take over easily, very easily. But if you're strong, if you have control over who you are, over your own creation, then a demon cannot, or a bad demon or a malicious entity, like something bad, will never touch you. They can't. Even if they want to, they cannot touch you. You know?
Yeah, because even the mediums usually who work with demons, those are like the most strongest people out there.
Yeah.
Their mind is very clear and very strong, because the ability to control your mind and somebody else's mind and you, it's very hard. Yeah, but I've seen people, it's actually what you talked about, it's very common in shamanic practices. They do believe that if person weak or drunk, high on drugs, that's when this malicious intoxicated, yeah, that's when these malicious entities are actually possessing them. That's why shamans usually, practitioners, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't take anything, they don't they don't use anything. Nothing that toxic or nothing that can take control over the mind.
Yes,
because the moment you don't control your mind, someone else
is gonna control. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's why usually I've heard like a lot of practicing shamans, like the modern one who live in big cities and they have their own practices. They always say, if you want to experience any type of like for example, if you want to come into your power, first thing they say, like, don't go to nightclubs, don't go to like restaurants, don't drink, don't consume anything intoxicating, cleanse your body for 2 weeks or 2 months, and then we start working.
Then we start,
because I need your body and your mind to be very, very clear.
Yes,
when it comes to this.
And the same in ancient practices, like in ancient Egypt, where before entering a temple, they would require you to fast for 40 days. Fasting for 40 days was just not for fun or to test you if you cannot eat or not. It's to cleanse you. It's to cleanse your body, your physical body, from anything that makes you weaker, basically. Like all of these drugs, these drugs that makes you weak. And nowadays, unfortunately, everyone is addicted to weed and pot, and everyone is drinking all the time, and everyone is into these substances, and everyone wants to do ayahuasca, and everyone wants to do all of these things, and yet we want to speak with spirits, you know. So sure,
you can't even speak to yourself.
You can't even speak to yourself.
You don't hear what's going on here.
It's like some people can even function unless they take shrooms or smoke something, and then they start functioning, you know. Like, and yet they're like, I hear spirits. You hear
Try to hear what's going on in your mind. Yeah, and I saw Richard is joining us. Hi, Richard. It's so good that you made it finally, and happy Christmas and happy holidays to you. And also, when it comes to these possessions, I've seen people who actually went to practicing shamans to ask. They asking to get attached like specific demons to them, and I've seen these people who had these entities attached.
Yeah,
and it's not a pleasant experience, even if it's possible to get like this demon attached to you, like, or some kind of entity attached to you, but still you don't have control over your body. It's like because you ask for it and maybe you're not ready, and you're not even a medium, you don't have this power, you don't have this gift, so literally you stop being able to function as a human being. It's like this. It's like it feels like you're always high because someone is always like there, it's like you're becoming a robot. So it's very dangerous route to take. But there are people who even can do that. So there's so much stuff going on that a lot of people don't know about. And when it comes to religious part of possessions and exorcism, you know, it's very interesting. Do you know how many people living now in the whole world? Like,
well, they say 7 billion. Really,
7 billion people.
They say over 7 billion.
Oh, so,
if you guys know exactly the number, let us know. How many human beings are in the world?
So, regardless the number, do you guys know how many exorcists are actually working for Vatican at this point?
For the Vatican,
for the Vatican officially, because
to exorcise
for exorcising demons.
7.5 billion. How many persons? Thank you.
Pick a guess, Sef. Pick a guess. Do you know?
So out of 7.5 billions, how many exorcists are there that work with the Vatican? 7.5 billion. I would say. Maybe okay, 7 billion. I mean, 1,000, 500. 1,000 maybe is too much. 500.
Good guess. So 30 years ago, there was only one person who was working for Vatican as an exorcist. Now it's 10.
There's only 10.
Only 10 people who are hired by Vatican to perform the act of exorcism.
That's crazy.
And the reason why. Usually these people, because I've seen so many interviews with them and I actually like stalked a lot of them to actually see what they do and how they do it. Because this is actually sick job to have. Like,
I mean it's crazy. It's crazy.
Job, right?
I would love to become. I would love to exorcise at the Vatican one day. I would love to.
So only 10 people, and they say the reason why, because usually 99.9% of these calls that they receive from people who are being possessed are the fake ones. It's not the possession. I've heard this interview with exorcist from Vatican, and he said in his 40 years career as an exorcist, so 40 years, he only saw or met like 5 people. Not even every year, not even once a year.
And everyone else is just like it seems like a possession, but it's not.
Yeah, it's either a mental disease, physical disease, like you said, like families that induce this
kind of drama.
People. It's something else. It could be like the gifts go wrong, like energy healers. They sometimes feel off. Because they don't know how to work with their energies. So they say it's so rare to actually see the real possession, like the scary one that they show us in movies.
So that's true.
It still goes back to the question.
But I believe so. I believe that's probably not as common as people say. It is the real possession. I believe so. I don't think if it was that common, we would see it more often. Like even in you would see it on YouTube, for example. You would see, but I don't. That resonates a lot. Actually, that resonates a lot. Yeah. And actually, to build on one fact about Christianity and the Vatican and the exorcising, about Jesus Christ was before he was perceived as the Messiah. He was actually an exorcist. And he was known for exorcising people from these negative entities. And then later on, when he started spreading messages and stuff about being a good human being, then people start calling him the Messiah. But prior to that, he was known for being an exorcist, which is actually very interesting.
Yeah, which is like it's such an interesting information. When I heard this about Vatican, I was like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They confirm it exists, but they confirm it's so rare. It's so
Yeah.
rare. So guys, don't be scared. If something happening with you is like something weird and you feel you're being possessed, usually in my experience, it's just your power is growing. You have some kind of gift and you just don't know how to handle it. It's not a possession. Usually it's not a possession.
Yeah, usually it's not. Yeah. Okay.
Richard has a question on topic of channelings, because this is where our expertise lies. How can one discern that the messages that they are receiving are valid and not intentionally disinformation? Yeah, this is a good question. When it comes to channeling, it's very hard to actually
decipher and discern what's yours and what's from spirit. Yeah.
How do you understand what's yours and what's not yours?
For me, it's it's almost like I have to trick myself by just the moment, for example, when I start reading tarot or do smoke screen reading or coffee reading or anything that has to do with divination or answering. It's like you get into this state or this trance where you talk without thinking. You start talking without thinking, and that's how you know it's not you who's talking. So your thoughts are out. They're out. They're not there.
That's such a good point.
Yeah. So when something comes, you don't even have time to think about it. Before you can think about it, it's already out as a word or out as a sentence or out as a phrase. So I try to always put that in my head. And sometimes what happens is that when I'm channeling the message, the message comes. It's already in my head. It just comes. But then I catch myself thinking, and I'm like, why am I thinking? And then I'm like, oh, I was thinking because I was doubting myself. And then as I catch myself doing that, I say the message that came at first right away. I just say it without thinking if it makes sense or not. Even if I'm gonna say something that sounds so crazy, but I just say it. I don't care, because I catch myself thinking, and that's when you know that that's you, not the spirit, not the messages channeled from your spirit guides or from your guardian demon.
It's actually it's a good point.
So how about for you? How do you discern? How do you discern? How do you kind of make the difference?
For me, it's easy. If I'm present as a person, as an inner witch, if I'm still thinking, if I'm trying to see what to say, it means this is still me. Because usually, like for example, when you use any tools, like you said, for example, if I use tarot, I'm not even channeling sometimes. I'm just like, I'm actually reading tarot, whatever comes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
When it's actually channeling, when it happens, I think I have two modes. Like one, like you call it, like funny oracle mode.
Oracle mode, that's what I call it.
Yeah, for me, it's easy to know that this is channeling because I'm just not there. I don't remember the session. I don't remember what I said. It's just like, it's happened with you. I think you was one of my first crazy oracle sessions.
Yeah.
I remember going downstairs to the reading area.
So reading area, yeah.
I sat down in front of you. I took my tarot deck. And then I remember getting up half an hour later.
Yeah, you were blank. It's just blank, and then and then all you remember is us sitting down and starting the reading, and that's it.
And that's it, and leaving the room.
Leaving the room.
And then what happened in between in this like 25 minutes? I don't remember.
You don't remember anything.
Nothing.
That's why I was texting you about the session, and
I was like, I don't know what is he talking about.
Yeah, you didn't know what I was talking about. That was crazy. Yeah.
Yes, and that's how I know this was the channeling, and it's happened, and it wasn't me because I don't remember sessions.
Yeah.
And those are usually the craziest, the most interesting sessions because it only happens when the person is physically in front of me. It's very hard to do online because the interruptions, I need to connect, I need to feel the person, I need to sometimes take hand, I need to establish this channel, I need to feel the presence, and I need to realize that like sometimes that I'm ready for it, or it needs to be done, and it's just, it takes over, and that's it. And this easy.
But it happens only, it doesn't happen for every reading.
No, it usually happens with gifted, crazy people like yourself. It happened to every client of mine who this happened. In the future, they got back to me. They all become practitioners. They became Akashic record readers, they became mediums, they became shamans, they became something crazy.
Yeah.
And they would come back like 1 year later or send me like a crazy email, like, thank you so much for the session. I became the things you told me, like this is this, blah, blah, blah. I'm practicing there. If you ever want to visit me, go to Hawaii, go there, go here. Like I opened like retreat, I did this, I did that.
Yeah, they always become practitioners. But then but what's funny is that you don't remember the session.
I don't remember what I said.
That's a funny thing.
Sometimes I don't even remember how they look like. I become blank.
Yeah,
I clearly remember there was a woman, and that's why it's in Hawaii, and she sent me this amazing email, and I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy, like whatever being told, like it reached her.
Yeah, it was meant to.
And when they come back, and I remember that's why when you come back second time, I think for a reading or for something.
I came. At the store. I came back to buy something. I don't remember. I don't remember something.
Or maybe for my workshop or
something.
For your workshop. For tarot workshop.
For your workshop. Yeah.
So when you came back, and I knew that I had this oracle session. And I knew, like, for me, it means right away that you are the gifted one. You are the special one. In a way, you are the chosen one.
Yeah.
And that's why
in the workshop, you were like, she basically in my first workshop of tarot, first ever, to read tarot, we sat down. I thought she's going to give me some sort of manual to read tarot. So basically she gave me, so we were sitting with other people, and it was like the cards, and I was handed the cards, and she was like, read the cards. And I was like, what? And I'm like, what? But I've never read tarot before. What are you talking about? Isn't there any instruction? She's like, just read.
Do it.
Do it. What do you see? And I kid you not, guys. Like, as she said that for like the second or third time.
And there's a lot of people. Like, it was like a full circle.
There was other people. Yeah, there was other people there, and I'm like, okay. And I was kind of embarrassed a little bit. And I just took the cards without any preconception or knowledge about any. I knew some stuff, and that's it. Like really very, very, very few things. Like pentacles means money. That's all. But the tarot deck we used back then, it wasn't even the Rider White. It wasn't even the Rider White.
Some kind of like dragon or tattoo or something.
Yeah, it was like a dragon deck, and it was so obscure. And then you told me to read, and then I started, and then I looked at the cards, and I started talking, and I'm like, what the heck am I saying?
And he was amazing, and other people, there were like some people who were actually practitioners. They were doing professional tarot readings, and after this, because we go in circles, so everyone gets to read, and then everyone was asking, so what do you think? Like, what can you?
They were asking me, and I'm like, why are people asking me?
And that's how you know that you are supposed to become this practitioner. And for me, it just was confirmation. And this is how I know, like, when it happens, this channeling, I know that the person is the chosen one. The person is special. This person is like 1 in a million. And if they would come back again, like, I never, for example, when I have readings with clients, and I never would go personal with them. Like, I never become a friend with a client. But if you come back, for me, it's like, it means I'm supposed to, because it's universe telling me, like, there's something like supposed to continue this path. Like, this is something special.
Yes.
And those are the easiest channelings to do, because you just don't remember. It was a channeling, you wasn't there whatsoever.
There are people who actually do channeling other entities. They say the exact same thing. They say that they don't remember what they channeled as well. They say that once the channeling starts, it turns off, and then it turns on again, and then they don't know what they said. And then everyone is like, you've been talking for 1 hour and you said so many things. So it works the same. Yeah.
For me, because we talk about gifts and abilities, in my book, the Tarot Grimoire, I actually share what I was using at the time. This is the book that dedicated to tarot and how it helped me to become myself. So it's connected with the High Priestess card. And I share the specific runic sequence that I was using before channeling, because I was working on my abilities to connect with the realm of demons and gods and deities and angels. And I was saying this specific mantra every time before every client.
It's in your book. Yeah, I read that.
To open. Do you use it?
No, I don't.
It's too late for you. And it was such a secret for me, and it worked like magic. And now I don't use it anymore, but this in the beginning helped me to channel a lot. Another way when I channel, it's usually more, it's happening more when it's in person reading, like online or someone in front of me physically. And this is when, like you said, something takes over and you start talking. But in your mind, you ask yourself, what am I saying? Shut up, shut up, shut up. But then it's like, it's
you're
goes,
just
like
going,
you can control. And this is, you're channeling something, someone. Sometimes you understand who you channel because they give a name. It's either ancestors or people who just passed away and they're standing behind them, or it's a demon or a specific entity or a specific god or a specific specific person that passing down the gift, and because they make it like they say it, like, this is me. Sometimes it becomes like a conversation when it's you channel another person, and they say, my name is this, and and they're trying to talk through you. And then it's not you, it's channeling. But also when I'm channeling something, it's like you said, when I say something that to me doesn't make sense, that doesn't resonate to me.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And you're like, but
and something that goes against my belief and against my like normal human logic.
Against the logic.
And that's what I know I'm channeling something or someone, or even the message. Sometimes it's during the readings when there is a question, like normal questions. Should I, for example, like cheat on my husband? And then as a human being, of course I'm pulling the cards and I want to say no.
But then you say yes, you have
to. and not with one lover. It's supposed to be for you, the universe sending you 7 other men that you're supposed to be with, but don't tell your husband. And then you say all this and like, oh my god, what am I saying? And the client is like, she's in her 50s or 60s, and what is this? I'm saying, well, she's gonna say something now. And she's like, I already like on Tinder with these 7 guys. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Oh my god, what am I saying? And that's when I'm also channeling something, because it goes against my personal, like, for example, like ideas of
like principles, your personal principles, like,
or what I was want to say.
I think it's because it's meant for the person.
Yes.
So that person at that point in time, they're meant to hear that they need to cheat so they can learn something from it. Maybe after cheating, something really bad is going to happen to them and they will never do it again. Just an example, but I feel like that's what they're meant to hear, regardless of how crazy it sounds,
But I also notice it's like, I might have my own personal like system of belief. You might have your own. You guys might have your own universe. But for this specific client at the moment, she's supposed to be cheating on her husband, maybe because he's already cheated, or maybe he's not the person that stays with that person. There are different crazy families out there. They have different dynamics and they do different things that for them work. And if I'm saying something that goes against me, I know I'm doing a good reading, because it's something that is not from me.
It's not
because usually
that's a good point. That's usually a very good
clients
point,
that don't come to hear what
what your opinion,
my opinion on their life situation or their like job situation.
They want to hear what spirit has to say.
Yes, and I'm always happy when it happens.
That's true.
And
that's true.
It took me a long time to calm myself down and let it be said. And that's why sometimes this client might come back and they have like very different idea of me as a person based on what I'm gonna tell them or what they heard from me. And so like a lot of people have different ideas of me as a person, probably you as a person, because during the readings you always say different things to different people, because it's not you who's talking, it's them.
That's very true. We're just vessels. We're these vehicles that conduits. We just like let the message through. It's like you let it through.
And if there's something that during your reading or your practice, or if you hear something that you do know it's not yours, this is you channeling. Something that you expect to hear or you project, usually this is something yours, something that unexpected that actually blows your mind when you hear it, or when you say this is something that's probably channeling. And when you actually channel, it always feels a little bit different than from your normal living situation, I would say. It's always there's something in your physical body that reacts to the channeling. Your hair stood up, or like shivers,
Yeah, you feel
goosebumps,
something. Yeah, yeah.
cold,
yeah.
heat, something going
That's true.
off, like electricity,
Yeah.
like a tunnel. Sometimes when I channel, I it's just me and the person in front, and then the tunnel and nothing else. Like
Yeah,
nothing
you don't
else.
see, you don't
I
see anything else
I
around.
don't
Just
see,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
hear. Like it's a
yeah,
vacuum kind
yeah,
of situation.
yeah.
So I know it's a channeling because it's not like this realm anymore.
Yeah,
And I notice when you actually channel on your YouTube videos,
yeah.
Especially when you do smoke scrying, and you guys, if you've never watched his smoke scryings, you should. It's so much fun. It's so interesting. I've noticed when you actually do your smoke scryings and when you open portals, it looks like it's something taken over. It's no longer you, because in normal life, you're very like self-together. You always know what you say. You're very
I calculate everything. I'm
Yes.
very logical. I
very
calculate.
logical.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't expect all of this, like
Yeah,
normal life, right?
I myself look at my videos and I'm like, what the heck am I doing?
So I think, so when you do this is you real channeling. And when you say something like, I know sometimes you even change your voice during channeling, I know this is not you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because also you would never do something like this, especially when it's not for you, it's like in public.
Mhm.
So guys, when you change your appearance a little bit, when you change the way you talk, speak, or behave, it means you're channeling
That's channeling.
something.
That's true. That's
Because
true.
they always affect us physically, these
Yeah.
presences. Even when you know that someone is watching you, you know, because it's unpleasant feeling, or it's, if it's pleasant feeling, it's still different feeling. It's
Yeah.
something else, something more bigger.
You
than
feel
you.
that there's something there, and also not remembering much of what you channeled also is like you, yeah, sometimes in this smoke scrying or even in tarot, and then I'm done and then I don't remember what I said. You know, it's kind of like there's no recollection. It's like, it's kind of like, what, like, you know, like, it's what you, I rewatched a video later and then I'm like, when did I say this? What, you know, it's a weird feeling. It's a very weird feeling.
And you usually know like when it's happening. So guys, just trust your intuition when it comes to channeling. Practice, do it. The more you practice, the more it's going to be natural. Find your own technique. In the beginning, for me, the sequence really worked because you need to take your mind off like normal life, and you need to understand and give this idea to your mind that this is something special is about to happen, and something unusual and supernatural, and you're ready for it. So you have to like create this kind of like routine, supernatural routine. I saw a question from Coffee with the Unknown.
I think there's a lot of comments, a lot of questions.
Yes, Melissa, Coffee the Unknown. Thank you for joining, by the way. How do you see or contact with your guides? Do you have a specific...
How do you see or contact with your guides?
How do you see / contact with your guides?
Oh.
how do you like hear them? How do you see them? How do you communicate with them?
Yeah. So let's basically break it down. So for seeing them, if we're talking about seeing, and this is just for me because everyone has different gifts when it comes to clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. You know, for me, when it comes to seeing the entity itself, it's always when I'm in a meditative state. I don't say while I meditate because I don't want to give the idea that I meditate and then I see. When I'm in a meditative state, when I'm sitting and I close my eyes, then I can see the spirit. I can see the entity. I can describe them. I can see how they look like. I can see their shape. If it's a ghost, I can see what they are. If it's a man, if it's a woman, what kind of around the age, what age they are. And I can see like visually, like with basically my third eye, if you want to call it third eye. And I can see the vision. Is it clear? Is it with like with colors? No, it's not. It's always it's like with very few hues of color. It's like very few hues of color. It's like you see the form, you see the shape, you see the details, but it's not like it's not colorful. It's not like you're seeing the physical reality. But that happens in remote viewing, and that's why I know it's remote viewing, because with remote viewing, I can see like it's physical reality. And that's when I know that I'm actually visiting another place, either here or in another dimension or somewhere else. So that's how I see the spirits. For hearing them, it's when you literally hear them. You just hear, like, for example, you're supposed to go, let's say, I'm just throwing an example out there. You're supposed to go to a job interview. You're supposed to, you have a job interview set up and you're supposed to go there. And on your way there, or just like while you're preparing to go there, something tells you, not you, not your fear because you're nervous about the job interview, but something you hear, something saying, don't go to the interview, don't do it. That's when your guardian, demon, or spirit are telling you that, hey, this is not for you. Don't even bother by going to the interview. Don't even bother, because it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of reincarnation. Don't even go there, Or maybe if you go there, a car is going to hit you and you're going to break your arm. So maybe you're not supposed to do that. And then so that's how you hear them. When you hear something, it's actually it goes hand in hand with challenge, with what you described. When you hear something that doesn't make sense, you're like, no, I've been preparing for this interview for 2 months. What is this thing in me that's saying don't go? What the heck is this? And you have to discern that sometimes it's fear. It's not. It shouldn't be fear. It should be like you're fully happy, you're excited, you're going there, and all of a sudden something tells you no, don't go. So when you hear things that are outside of you, it's not you. It's not you who's talking. Something just, and for me, I hear through my mind. It's just something drops it in my head. It's like it takes an idea or a phrase and it drops it in my head, like boop, it just drops it, and I'm like, where the heck this thought came from? Who's telling me this? And that's how I hear them. So that's how I hear. That's how I see. To invoke them is through ritual. To invoke entities.
When do you invoke them? How do you see them? Like in flesh and blood and
it's
flesh?
No, it's the same for me. Not flesh. It's the same. It's like if I do the ritual, it's always about closing my eyes because I see with my third eye. So my eyes have to be closed. But unlike how people, when they close their eyes and they see just like nothing, for me, and I know this is hard to believe because I say it many times and people are like, what? Like, but it's okay. I don't care if people don't believe it. When I close my eyes, I don't see nothing. I see something else. I start seeing this other realm. And it doesn't have to be I have to sit down and gather for it, gather energy or whatever. It's there. It's always there. I can even right now close my eyes and I'm there already. It's like happening. It's happening simultaneously. So I'm closing my eyes. I can start seeing these spirits and these entities. And I know it kind of sounds crazy, but for me, that's how it is. That's how it is for me. Yeah. But
when it comes to deities, gods or goddesses, if you work with any, do you get to see them in the form, let's say?
No, because I for many of these deities, I don't believe they look like how people portray them or how people say they are. I'm very skeptical. It's my logical brain that always kicks in. They help. These forms help. Let's say, for example, Thoth. I love working with Thoth, right? Thoth is the god of magic and wisdom of Egypt. He has a bird head, right? He has a bird head. So like did he actually look like that? Did his bird head look exactly like that? I'm very skeptical about that. Maybe he had a bird head, but maybe he did not look like that. So for me, I try to always kind of let it come as whatever comes, So if I invoke Thoth can appear in any form, because he's the god of magic. So he can shapeshift in any form he wants, So the moments you hear that I saw Thoth and he looked exactly like a bird, like how they told, then I start becoming skeptical, So yeah. But it's not about seeing them like in flesh, like in front of me. No, it's not like physical. It's not physical. Yeah.
When you contact them, you always do ritual, or sometimes they just come to you. Like, for example, if you're doing a reading for someone, Do you ask for help from your guardian demons or your ancestors or your
Oh,
deities? How does it happen?
oh, I see. So
Why are you laughing? It's a serious question.
I know. No, the reason I'm laughing because I know what people are expecting me to say. So if people are expecting me to say, well, yeah, you know, you. For me, it's actually it's rare. It's rare for me to invoke something before I let's say I do a reading or I do a session. Because for me, just like my readings, I just do it. You know, there's a routine around things. Some people like to have a routine. For me, I'm the kind of person who can read a tarot or a smoke scrying, like in the most crowded place at 1 p.m. in any city in the world, and I can read right there on the spot, and my reading will still be accurate. So when I'm doing something very serious, like cutting ancestral ties, like doing an unhexing ritual, like doing something that's more serious than just channeling a message, that's when I call on the gang. That's when but for real, like I call them the gang because that's where I need more help. I need more help for that ritual to work, or for that, like if I'm cutting ancestral ties, I definitely need the help of the spirits I call on, for sure. But for like just a tarot reading, I know the connection. For me, it's always open. It's always open. There's no closing. It's never closed, and it's always there. It's always there. It's my life. It's what I do. It's what I live. It's what I breathe. So because I feel like the more you think, oh, I have to invoke, or I have to do this before I just read tarot on the spot, then it becomes more like you're making your life harder and harder. It might be helpful, especially if you're a beginner. It's good. It's good to do that kind of. It's a ritual. It's a ritual. A ritual it's a routine.
Ritual helps.
Yeah. But and I know for me, and I think probably for you too. It just happens. It just happens. But when I do call on the gang, on the big boys, and the big girls, when I do call on them, it has to be for something that's gonna require a lot of energy. A lot of energy.
This is actually one of the most interesting products or services that you offer or have ever seen.
Yeah.
It's called the Ancestral...
ancestral karma, cutting ancestral ties and karma removal.
Karma removal, because, guys, when I think before we talked about being scared or having blocks when you come to your gifts, because sometimes it actually has to do with your ancestors, with your family. When they project on you that this is like... against the religion, if it's against, it's not good. It's even like, especially in modern days, it's like it's not something that they want you to do. And even you feel your ancestors are against this because no one was practicing. Maybe you're the first witch that born in this family, in this bloodline. So actually cutting these ties, sometimes it's very, very helpful, especially if you are from very religious family. And this is not a service that I've seen a lot of people offer. I don't even do it myself because it requires a lot of a lot of techniques and a lot of knowledge,
and a lot of energy too. A lot of energy.
Yeah. So if you guys need something like this, like check out his website. This is a very interesting thing to do in order to move on with your gifts and abilities. Because sometimes if you've been stuck for years and you know that you're gifted but nothing is happening and your life just gone downhill, it's most likely it's just like the ties that you have subconsciously that's stopping you.
And those ties are always there, and they're always holding you back, and you don't know why you have them all the time. And they're always jeopardizing your life, and then you realize it's from your grandfather, it's from your father, it's from your uncle, it's from your great grand cousin's grandfather, and then these ties are attached to you, and energetically they're actually, you can see them, they're attached to you. It's like a bunch of energy that's from somewhere else, and then it's hanging out from you, and it's literally in this ritual that I do, I actually cut them, and I cut them, with the literal sense of the word cut, like you cut them, and when you cut something, it hurts. Usually cutting something hurts. So So it does feel weird after the ritual. It does feel very weird because you feel like a lot of weight is gone, and you feel like you're just by yourself, you know. But it's cool. You feel liberated. You feel liberated. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, so guys, how do you, by the way, contact with your demons and deities? And if you do, how do you feel them, sense them? It's actually a very interesting question.
Yeah.
For sure. And the signs. Richard is asking in regards to supernatural gifts. The W sign close to the middle of my left palm. It's the W on your left palm is not a clear sign that you're born rich, because actually left palm represents your free will, the life that you're choosing and you're creating yourself. The right palm is actually the one that you're supposed to look for the born marks and gifts, because this is your destiny. The right palm represents what you are born with. So it means that you can become witch, you can become wizard, witch, like sorcerer. You can,
if you choose to.
Yeah. And if it's already there, it means you are. It means whatever it is you're practicing, you have to put your hands and you have to like use it. Your hands, literally. This is what it means. But it doesn't mean that you're born with this. It's like you either acquire it or it's a part of the gift that you're born with. So for gifts and abilities that you're born with, look on your right palm.
That's how you know what you're born with. What you have from the beginning.
Any other questions?
Let's actually here,
because I think we missed a lot of questions.
We missed a lot. Is like this.
Coffee. No, Melissa, hold on. No, I want to read it. She's saying, Sef, your money sigil helped me pay off my credit card debt in a week. I had a few Etsy sales in my vintage shop and all babysitting jobs out of nowhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah. Oh my God, this is awesome. Yeah, I know. Your sigils are like amazing. If sometimes when I feel lazy, I don't want to do like full on ritual, but I need to manifest something, I just like I get your sigil, and I feel the reason why sigils work so much. First of all, it's his energy, like crazy dark energy of manifesting, like hardcore with his gang, dramatic style, and sometimes the sigil represents the idea. So whatever idea he puts there, he knows what he's talking about because it's sacred geometry. It goes into your sigil. I don't want to learn about sacred geometry, so I'd rather buy a sigil. And guys, when you buy something, if you want to manifest, there is always on your altar or in your ritual supposed to be one thing that you buy. Because if you manifest, and especially if you manifest in abundance, if there is nothing that you spend your money on, how can you receive it back? It's like it's a boomerang effect. You have to spend to receive way more. So if you buy sigil, it helps you to receive more. And
a lot of the work it's done already because the sigil is already there. And these are one-of-a-kind sigils. I design and create and channel them myself. They're not copied from anywhere. So if you have a sigil, it's only you who has it. And there's a lot of energy in there, and it's kind of, as you said earlier, it's like a little shortcut, because for example, if the sigil of 20% of your ritual, then 20% is done. It's already there.
And if you don't know how to do it,
if you don't know how to do it,
especially if you don't believe in your own power and you use somebody else's power, which is amazing.
Yes.
And I know that your sigils are really unusual because I've seen like there's free websites that
have free sigils.
Your sigil doesn't look like anything I've seen before.
My sigils look very different. Very different. Like any sigil you find on my website, if you get it, and the moment you download it, it's something you've never seen. It's like, especially when you go to the sigils of exorcism or invoking spirits, those are really cool. And I even channeled some ancient language in there, and they look quite they just look very different. It'll make you dizzy. It'll make you
I use them, very powerful. And I love how actually Sef, his book, How to Embrace Darkness, you gave sigils for free.
Yes, 3 free sigils in my new book if you get it, because it's my first book. So as a little thank you and for everyone who purchased the book, I give them 3 sigils, and the total value of these 3 sigils is $105.
Yes, thank you. I'm enjoying them very much.
So I'm giving them for free with my new book. Yes. Coffee with Unknown, thank you for purchasing the sigils. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Ask your questions.
There's quite a few here.
We missed a lot of
we
questions.
missed a lot. Oh, there's a little
Cut. It's actually from the cat box. Yeah, cats in the box
from the cat.
I can Dr. Kittens.
Dragonfly dark.
What is the best way to do mediumship? It may be trance. Actually, it's very hard to learn mediumship. You have to be born a medium or psychics in order to do that. If you're not, it's almost impossible, because if you're born a medium, it just happens to you naturally.
Yes.
You just practice channeling, practice reading for others, and then it's just gonna come naturally. One day you're just gonna open up these abilities in you. If you are not born with this, almost zero chances to actually make it happen, regardless what you do, regardless how many years you meditate. Trance, the same thing. I know a lot of people who've done this, who've done this, like ecstatic dances. It's just a dance. If you don't have a gift, you will never gonna go into trance.
And
So the easiest way is to be born with this gift.
So you start noticing spirits coming and talking to you. They're gonna if you're a medium, expect that spirits are gonna come and say hi. They're gonna come and talk to you, and sometimes they're gonna come and give you messages, and you're gonna be frightened, and you're gonna be like, what's going on? Because they know you're a medium, they know you can speak to them and see them and hear them. So it's basically,
that's why they come.
That's how you know that you're born with the gift.
I see another question from Annie. Can one have two guides, one being demon and another being angelic? Yes. Guides, you can have like so many, like this mix of guides. You can have demons, angels. You can have like ancestors. You can have animals, like creatures, Anunnaki, aliens. Like there's so much you can have. It's just like, it's so hard to figure out who is actually your guardian, like creature, demon, or spirit.
Yeah, it could be some really cool ancestor, some wise ancestor, or some
unwise as well. They sometimes they also
the unwise ones. Those are the ones that needs to be cut. The foolish ones.
Yes, so you can have like a crazy mix of your guardian protectors, like spirits just guide you.
There's many. There's so many. There could be creatures. They could be even like things that look like nothing, things you've never seen before. Even in movies, they could look very different than from what you've seen before. Yeah.
Yes. From Nana D, how do we know it's a guardian demon but not a trickster? It's very hard to know. I think when you're asking it, it could be probably it's a trickster. If you have this ideas, it means it's something doesn't feel right.
You would know. I think you would know. When I had some malicious entities and they came in, either the sleep paralysis that I used to have before, or when I started seeing these entities because I was over flooded by entities trying to show up to me. Until I learned how to tell them to stop and control my gifts, so I'm not seeing everything, and you can feel it just from the energy of the malicious ones. The trickster ones, you can feel it. They have an agenda, or they're coming here just to either feed off your fear, or play games with you, or play tricks on you, or control your mind. So you can tell. I think you can. You have the answer. You can tell if you think about it. There's something off.
It's something off.
You'll know.
It's also it's very hard to get a guardian demon or guardian angel. They have better things to do than to just guard 7.5 billion people. So you kind of like, if they're there, it's such a special presence and a special feeling. So
that's actually a very good point, guys. The guardian demons, you might know how many you have and their names and who they are, but the one thing that I agree with you with, and I want to actually put the emphasis on, is that they're not always there, because as you said, like, think about hierarchy, think about these supernatural beings that can navigate and travel anywhere in the universe or any dimensions, and they can teleport and manifest or disappear at will or shapeshift. don't think that you're so awesome and special that they're going to be around you all the time. Yes, you are awesome, you are special in your own way, but these beings, they are here to help, they are here to guide, but it doesn't mean that they're always there. They can hear you, and I mentioned this before, they can hear you when you call their name. When you call them, they can hear you wherever they are, even if they're in some other dimension. They can hear you when you say their name. But does that mean that they're gonna be always there around you? No. First of all, you have to be very, you have to be powerful. You have to be practicing every day, practicing all the time. You have to be special.
The chosen one.
The chosen, yeah. You have to be badass. You have to be badass enough, and then a lot of people say, well, I have 30 guardian demons and they're always around me and I see them all the time and I chill with them and I drink tea with them and
we watch Netflix
and we watch Netflix together. Yeah.
Netflix.
Guys, guardian demons are actually, if you look down on your guardian demons, they might never come to you. Just remember that they're to be taken seriously. How do you take your boss at your work? Do you take your boss with can you go to your boss who pays you money and tell them, hey, can you come around and can you chill and no. Your boss, you usually have a certain kind of respect for them because you know that if you fuck around, they're gonna get rid of you, right? So imagine a guardian demon, imagine a demon and a high-ranking demon. So put things in perspective, as above, so below, as within, so without. So everything that applies in your life, it's not that different from the spirit realm. It's not that different. So these demons, they can help you, they can guide you, but you have to be top notch for them to help you and guide you. You have to be top notch first,
You have to come to your gifts and abilities.
Because you have to activate them.
You have to be seen by them. Imagine when you see shadows. So you have this gift of seeing something supernatural. So for demons, for the shadows, for the ghosts and spirits, when it comes to us people, to humans, the mortals, they see us as the shadows, like nothing special, like billions of shadows passing by on daily basis. For them to notice you, you have to have special like aura, energy, abilities. So for example, usually mediums or psychics, they see them like fire.
They seem like there's some sort of
energy healers, they see them like with like they walk like their life like trees, like something living. It's like nature walking with you. So for example, for people who can talk to demons, they can hear them. It's like because the shadows are like blank, they don't see, they don't speak. So if you can talk to demons, it means they hear what you say right away, so they can hear you. So that's why they come to people who can channel or can speak in tongues, for example. So in order for you to be seen by demons, you have to become this different like person, this different mortal, the mortal with abilities. It means you have some kind of special blood in you. You can have demonic blood, angelic blood, some kind of special bloodline, and your soul carries some kind of magical DNA from past lives. So all of this combined with your practice, with your coming into your power, with your accepting and working on your abilities, makes you this unique, special, the chosen one that demons, for example, or angels or anyone, even your ancestors, are be like able to see you,
to notice you, to
hear you, and
true.
To sense you. And that's when, if you hold them, like, can you imagine 7.5 billion people, maybe 10% of them want to walk some kind of demon on this Christmas night, right? And it makes them like a lot of people gonna try to invoke Lucifer tonight, for example.
Probably a lot.
There's one Lucifer, and for example, like 1 million people out there trying to invoke him tonight. So out of this 1 million people, maybe 1,000 is actually gifted ones. So when they start calling Lucifer's names, he's gonna hear. So there's 100 people that calling him. He's gonna choose, maybe, if he's interested.
If he's interested,
he might choose one. So are you sure you're gonna be the one?
It's one of the things, it's one of the most misunderstood things for practitioners in the occult. They think that the moment they call on some entity, it's gonna be there, and it's always this, like Lucifer is always around me, so he's with me, as you said earlier, he's chilling, he's watching Netflix with me. It's like what is this? What is this nonsense? What is this? As above, so below. If you can't call on your boss to chill and watch Netflix with you, how do you expect Lucifer to come at your place at any moment? As above, so below. So use your mind, put things in perspective. It's not as easy as it sounds. So I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Even your ancestors, sometimes they don't even come to you because they don't see that there's something in you. It's like, you know, one of the most questions like I ask if my grandmother who passed away is watching me, if this is watching me, or if this looks like, it's like maybe sometimes they never watched you when you were alive. Why do they want to watch you?
Why are they going to come to you when you're wondering?
Now? So
that's true. That's true.
The breaking point is to understand that you have to be special, that you have to embrace who you are. There are a lot of gifted people out there, like a lot. All of you guys probably gifted, like I have no doubt. But in order to come to your power, this is where it's all about you, what you're gonna do. I can tell you how amazing you are. I do these readings, especially the emo ones, and it's like sometimes the stuff that you guys have and born in your blood and your abilities is crazy. But when you receive the reading, when you realize that this is it, what you're gonna do about it? Like how you're gonna like proceed with your life. And this is when this comes like tricky, who is actually coming to you.
Exactly. It's well, it's just, I think, you know, everyone wants to believe that they are special without doing the work. So that's one of the hardest truths that people, no matter how many generations or thousands of years or millions of years are gonna pass, I don't think that's gonna change. But only the ones who do the work will know what it is like, unfortunately. So it is what it is.
Dragonfly Dark asking, I think that shamanism and mediumship are pretty similar. Do you agree? I actually don't agree, because you can be a medium who never even touched or heard about shamanism, or you can be a shaman. I know a lot of shamans who are doing ayahuascas or doing readings, but they are not mediums. They cannot see.
They can't see anything.
So it's case to case.
Does that have to do also with being gifted or not? Maybe. Do you think that has to do with being gifted? Like, for example, if you can be initiated as a shaman, but if you're not gifted, you can be doing every ceremony that is to be done, and you still won't see anything. And probably if you say you're saying something, then it's probably made up, or it's just like a hoax or something.
You want to believe to see something. You want to believe what you've been told,
and you will see what you because it's like most people who do ayahuasca, which is basically a shamanic practice in a way, right? Like its origin, the origin of the ayahuasca drug, or the ayahuasca medicine, as people like to call it. Most people who do it, they would basically say that they saw stuff, and then again, when you do research, you're gonna realize they're gonna say that they saw what they're usually obsessed with. What they're obsessed with all the time, that's what they're gonna see. And the same for mushrooms as well, for magic mushrooms. And I can speak from personal experience, where you usually start seeing just what you're obsessed with. You know, that's what you see.
So to answer your question, not necessarily. It's a witch is not necessarily a shaman is not necessarily a medium, and a medium is not necessarily a witch or a shaman. Some mediums they work as psychologists.
That's true. There's a lot of
question from Mike Q. Can person be born gifted even if no one had practiced occult in the family? Definitely, 100%.
For sure.
If someone was practicing occult in your family?
No, not at all. Very far from it. No, not at all. I think some of them maybe are gifted, but then
no practicing.
But the gift is like dead. It's like so dead. It's like so buried in the sand that they're not even they're not even aware of it.
Yeah, so you can be born gifted without anyone in your family practicing, but maybe someone like 8 generations ago practiced. But usually you guys have to understand there are gifts that come with your blood, like bloodline that comes from your family, and there are gifts that your soul carries from previous reincarnations. There are gifts that yours that sometimes make you a black sheep of the family because no one is like you, but this is your soul gift. And there are gifts that are actually like your grandma did something, or your mom did something, or your father did something, or like someone once did something, or they're practicing something, or did like coffee grounds reading, and then you have it too. So not necessarily. And I see, how do one recognize the force that lies with one's gift, like the power of the gift? How do you recognize it? It's actually very intriguing questions from Luna Fisher.
How do I recognize the force that lies within? The force that lies within. How do you interpret that?
To me, like what I understand you asking is, how do you understand the power of your gift? Maybe the extension of your gift and what you can do.
I see. It's when it works. It's when things start working. I think earlier, it was it Coffee with the Unknown when she said she used the Sigil, something similar like that. When I'm gonna give actually an example.
Peace.
There was this one time where I was having a very weird day. Since the morning, the day was weird. There was some weird energy. Weird energy around me, and then the whole day I wasn't feeling good. And at that point, I was not here. I was in a different country, and I was living beside a cemetery. I was living.
Interesting choice of an apartment.
You know how many times I lived beside cemeteries? It's I think 4 times in 4 different countries. And every time I find myself beside a cemetery,
I live next to an ancient tomb. Finally, it's like such an amazing place.
But anyways, and that one day was just off. It was off the whole day. Things were going wrong. I burnt my finger. I was making coffee, and I ended up putting my fingers in the coffee maker, and I burnt my fingers. There were so many things going off, and I could not settle. I couldn't settle. I couldn't feel peaceful, and then I went out around the evening time. I wanted to have some fresh air. So I went out. And as I went out, there was this dog. There was a stray dog in the street. And this and this dog came dashing at me, barking like with such ferociousness. It was so scary, so scary. It was like this, like, and barking. And then it started dashing towards me. And all I see is this dog, and it was a big dog. It was not a small dog. I see this stray big dog coming to bite me, to jump on, like literally. It's like, I'm like, that's it. And when I went out, like I didn't have anything to guard with. Like I was just where it was summertime. I was wearing shorts, and you know, I had nothing on me. I didn't even have a bag or anything to guard. And I'm like, that's it. And I started moving backwards. The dog didn't. It started just like coming. I'm like, that's it. I'm probably gonna get bitten or something. And then as the dog just approached, like really approached, like this close, there's this other guy who was walking by, and he lived in that neighborhood, and he saw the situation, and he came running, chasing the dog away. And I don't know what happened. The dog kind of like backed off when he saw, and the guy started screaming. Yeah, he saved me. He started chasing the dog away while screaming loud, like, go away, Dad! You know, like just kind of like making noises and screaming, and then the dog left. I went back home right away, and I know it was a malicious entity attached to me. I knew because I walked so many times in that same neighborhood, and nothing happened like that. In fact, the coming days, I walked beside that same dog, and it didn't even bark or move.
No. So what did you do?
So I knew that it was some bad entity attached to me, and the dog was probably barking at that. I went back home right away. I drew a sigil, and I put my name on the sigil, and I did a little ritual. I put some fire, and I did my work, and I declared to banish the entity. And I did it with such assertiveness because I wanted to get rid of this. And I remember I declared, and I did my spell, and I banished the entity. I was like, just leave. And I remember just slapping the table so hard with the sigil on the table, and I just bam on the table. And as I did that on the table with the sigil on the table, these, like, my whole body from head to toe, these shivers, I started shivering. I was like this. It's like, it was so weird. This shiver happened, and it was so strong, so strong. And I knew that the entity left. It was gone. As I slapped the sigil with my energy, with my hand on the table like that, and I said, I declared, I did my mantra, and I asked it. I didn't ask it, I ordered it to leave. And that shivered happened, and then it left. And after that, I felt this peace, I felt this calmness. It was, the whole energy shifted. It just shifted. And as I mentioned, the next day I went, the dog, because that dog lives in the neighborhood, I passed by the dog. It didn't even look at me. I passed by it, literally. The dog was there. I passed by it, and nothing happened. And nothing happened after that. And that's what I know, this thing, that's when you know that your power is working, because it was an entity that was attached to me, and it was making my whole day going wrong.
And you were able to banish it.
And I banished it. I did get rid of it. Yeah. That's how you know your power works. Because if it didn't work, then it means that my power doesn't work. That entity would still mess my whole month, or
it's true. Like, it's a good example. That's how you know the extension of your power, when you see the results of
you can
do. It's like the reflection what you put out in the universe. I think this is how you realize. And I think when it comes to understanding your power and how much you have, like what you have, I think subconsciously we always know.
Yeah.
Because we always have, it comes to realizing your limit.
Yeah.
It's like when you have this limit, that there is specific thing that you can do and you cannot do. That's when you know this is the boundaries of your power. If you don't have these boundaries, if you think that you can do anything you want, it means it's probably true.
And I know it works for you too, like with tarot readings, when you divine and through tarot, and you say things and they always happen. And it's very freaky sometimes how many times you would say things randomly. It's like, again, a form of channeling. And then I see them happen, and then they happen. So when you read tarot, or you do any work of divination, and then you have a vision, or you think something's going to happen, and it happens, it actually happens, that's also a sign. So you're seeing the results. You're like,
it's happened. But I think it's actually it's very hard to answer this, because
it's tricky. It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to realize the power is when you start reflecting on the world, when you start giving readings to others, when you start practicing magic, when you start practicing things that you preach, when you actually start doing something occult, paranormal related. Doesn't matter what you do, but the moment it starts affecting people, like others, the moment they start giving you feedback, even if you post something on social media, doesn't matter what it is you post. But we're talking about occult related, your gifts and abilities. The moment they reach out to you and they say thank you, it helped, it's like your sigil, or just thank you for saying something, confirming something.
That impacted someone else's life positively.
And then you know that this power is real. It's actually affecting people more than you imagine, and it reaches parts of the world that you yourself as a human would never be able to reach. Like when I receive my orders, I always check, where are you guys from? From which country they come in. I just love to check. And when I see some crazy countries, when I even go to my online store and I see people, because I can see live who is in my store, and when I see where the people are from, all over the world, to me, this when I realized not even the power, it's the gift that is bigger than me, because it's reaching so many people.
It's all around the world.
So I think to fully answer the question, if you don't practice your gift and abilities, if you don't see the reflection of it, you will never understand your power, because it can go unnoticed. Because you yourself going to be the last person to realize the power that lies within.
Those are gifts, yeah.
You're going to be the last one to understand what you have, how special you are.
Yes.
So it's not up to you to realize the power. It's up to others to show you your own power.
I like that.
And the more they show it to you, the more you actually become comfortable with yourself.
Yes, and like you get confidence, more confidence about who you are. Although I think you should be confident. You should believe in yourself.
You should believe in yourself, but it's the hardest thing to believe in yourself.
It's very hard.
Because it's easy to believe in God, in goddesses, in demons, but to believe in yourself,
it's the hardest thing.
It's the hardest
thing.
Because we can give our power to anything out there, not to us.
Not to ourselves. That's so true. That's very true.
So this is the easiest when you receive confirmation that you, as a person working, and your gift is working.
Yeah.
I think this is when you realize your own power and potential.
I like that. I agree. Yeah.
Because I met many people who are more gifted than both of us combined.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything, so they will never even understand the power that they have.
That's true. That's very true.
Yes, and I'm gonna take last question because it's in regards to the gifts and abilities, because it's been 2 hours, guys. By the way, thank you so much for watching and staying with us.
Thank you, guys.
Our lives always like forever.
We always plan to go for 1 hour, and it never happens.
Richard again asking, I have experienced clairvoyant phenomenon for the last 6 years.
Nice.
What are some ways that I can cultivate and strengthen my abilities? Because you are really clairvoyant.
Yeah.
So what helps you? What helped you? What do you still use?
Yeah, I think that this is actually a very simple question, but the answer to it, in my opinion, is very complicated. Because I wish I could say you can do this or you can do that, and that's the answer. I wish that was the answer, but unfortunately, it's a lot of things combined together, which is.
I already agree with you.
Because I wish I could say meditate and it's gonna get better, but I know it's not. So I'm not. That's why I'm like really from the depths of my heart. I wish I could say do this and that's it, you know. But it's your whole life. It's your whole life that kind of changes with everything, with your transformational process, with the alchemical journey. When I say alchemical journey, I mean the transmutation. When you declare to the universe that you have these gifts, you've been seeing them for 6 years, you've been having clairvoyance for 6 years. 6 is the number of balance, harmony, and love. Next year, 2022, is number 6. 2 + 2 + 2 is 6. So for you, it's time to. That's it. You declare to the universe that you're ready to transform, that you're ready to transmute and go on to the next level. First, you start by that. You start by embarking on your new journey that's gonna make you who you truly are, that's gonna make you realize your true powers. And then when you declare that, and then you embark on that journey, and that journey, it's called transformation for a reason, because when you transform, a lot of things transform, your life transforms. Then you don't have the same friends, you don't have the same house, the same family, the same environment. You might move to another country, you might move to another city, you might meet new people. And the more you do of this transformation, the more these gifts become stronger and stronger and stronger. But and then everything works together. Then you start using new tools. Maybe you should start using tarot. Maybe you should start using smoke scrying, or you should start using pendulum, or anything, or any tool that exists out there to help you make this energy and this power more prominent within your life, because it takes over your life. It becomes your life. It's not the other way around. We think that it's just a side thing, that this is my gift, I have it, it's on the side, it's on the shelf, and then it's just there. But then if you declare to the universe that you want to become this thing, then it takes over your life. You become it, the other way around.
So true.
So this journey, if you decide to embark on it and start it, then you're gonna see first it starts with clairvoyance, and then you're gonna start seeing other things, and then you're going to become clairaudient and clairsentient, and then you can control fire, and then you can summon demons, and then you can talk to ghosts, and then you become a medium, and then you become, you know, like all of these things. Everything happens. But so transformation journey means shedding and getting rid of anything that's holding you back, your old toxic habits, your old toxic families, friends, works, relationships, locations you go to. Those have to go away. They have to go. You have to drop them, and then you have to start eating healthy as possible. And healthy doesn't mean eating pasta and in a nice Italian restaurant, which is amazing, by the way, but but healthy as in like start including in your diet a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, a lot of greens, exercise, run, hit the gym if the gym is your thing. If it's some sport, start playing that sport. Move your body, activate your physical body. If you don't activate your physical body, your spiritual gifts will never never go to the next phase. The next level is also, this is an alchemy. It's a concept in alchemy. Your physical body has to be first fixed before your spiritual self can be fixed. Your physical has to be. True. Yes. So it goes. I wish there was just meditate and it's gonna fix. It's gonna become better. But I think it's I think it's a whole. Maybe I should have just said meditate. making people's lives harder, complicated. But
it's so interesting, actually. Richard saying he is a holistic nutritionist, so you should know what you're talking about.
Yes. So which is good, which is great. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I think for me, it's the same. Like, and Richard, you're saying your clairvoyance was happening for the past 6 years.
6 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time. If it's still happening, and it means there is something you're doing wrong. There is more things that you need to do and concentrate on. From my personal experience, first of all, it's a body. 100%. If you're a nutritionist, you should know better.
Yeah.
And also, my biggest help when it comes to clairvoyance, to see and talk and hear and sense, you should avoid at any cost any animal products. Animal products, they kind of ground your body to the lowest vibration, and it stops your clairvoyance abilities whatsoever. In the beginning, when I was even practicing before the readings, because I wanted my gift to kind of explode faster, like easier, I would fast for 24 hours prior to every reading I would have.
Yeah.
And it actually helps a lot when your body is clean. And
fasting is good, yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Being vegan, I think, is the necessity if you want to come into gifts of like clairvoyance.
Like cutting meat or like animal products,
any animal products.
because you're not as heavy as it's like you become more connected to the spirit realm. Your soul becomes lighter. It becomes much lighter.
Many spiritual practices, they always include like veganism or vegetarianism.
Yeah, like Buddhism, Hinduism,
shamanism,
like all of these practices.
Yes.
When was the last time you ate meat? How many years ago? Like it was probably like,
I don't remember when last time I drank milk.
Yeah, or even drunk milk or anything.
I don't remember.
Yeah, for me, I think 7 years. It's been 7 years since that was the last time I had any piece of meat. Like meat, chicken, fish, or I think it was 7 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, exactly, Richard. Plant-based diets, they do raise your vibration.
Plant-based,
it's for sure. And exercise, physical exercise, your body is supposed to be always like physically active. If you're not active, it's also very hard, because if you're trying to sit and channel something, it's like your back is aching more, like your legs or something. It's your body should be like your temple. It should be clean and effective, and organized, and everything's supposed to be working. and then practice. You have to find your tool. For us, I think both it was tarot. Could be bones, because you connected to darker spirits, so bone casting, runes, anything like that, anything that you can pick. And because you have to open up your mind more, and the more you practice, and you have to practice for people, you have to connect with people, because this is how clairvoyance works. You can just sit in your room and try to channel something if you don't see reflection of what you're doing, like because sometimes, you know, guys, I love to do readings for gifted people, because for you guys more demons, angels, entities comes than for normal people, because normal people sometimes they empty, they don't have like any energy or aura around them, so no one gonna come. So how do I know if my channeling or clairvoyance gift is working if this person in front of me is like empty?
That's true.
But when I read for people like this dark like entity, like shaman,
dark entity,
like, there's so much entities that's gonna come, there's so much stuff that's gonna happen. My gift's gonna be at the peak of my like abilities and the peak of my strengths and power. So the more you meet and read and channel, or even try to do clairvoyant readings for gifted people in front of you, this is what's gonna help you to come into your gift. For gifted ones, if you're already experiencing clairvoyance for 6 years, it means the gift is there. You just have to hone it. You have to work on it. Practice, and it all comes naturally. Even in my book, I say that it's happened to me like just like random. It's opened and never closed. Even though I wasn't seeking it, it happened.
It happened. It doesn't close. It doesn't close.
And for you, like you're saying, Richard, like last 12 days cards, like use cards as much as you can. Tarot is it's one of the tools that if you connect, your life will never be the same.
Tarot is amazing. Tarot is amazing.
It's like real awakening.
It is. I actually, in your book, the Tarot Grimoire, you decipher each major arcana, and it's filled with occult information and history and haunted stories and personal stories you've had with people who are haunted, and it's incredible. Your book, the Tarot Grimoire, is something that can be really, really helpful for learning tarot, or learning specifically what are these major arcanas, what are they really,
and how to use them differently,
and how to use
to connect with demons and abilities and gifts. Yes, just do it, Infinite House. Exactly. Guys, just practice, just do these things that you need to do.
Just do it. Like whatever comes your way, and you start with that, and then the rest will follow.
And Nanaji is asking, should I do a reading to know cutting ancestral ties works for me? You can ask this question if you want.
To know cutting ties.
I think cutting ties always work, because subconsciously we tied a lot to even childhood traumas. Not even like abusive anything, just like the words that we hear as we are tiny, they stuck in our minds.
They're stuck with us. Those things can follow you like your whole life. If you don't know how to. Actually, that's why I mentioned earlier transformation. When I said in alchemy, transformation means you leave behind all of these things, even the childhood traumas, even the ties you had.
You subconsciously don't even know.
You become it's like you're reborn in the same lifetime. It's one lifetime, but you have two reincarnations. It's like so it means everything from before you have to leave it behind. It's very hard. It's not easy.
Sometimes you can do it.
It's very hard.
Nana, if you're asking if this resonates, this ancestral cut ties, there's something for you. It means you carry a lot. Because like a lot of people, they don't care about this, so it means they don't have it. If you care, it means and. Charles, if you connect more to oracles than tarot, it's okay. It's just a tool. Whatever resonates more. People just throw bones sometimes, or they read coffee grinds, the same results.
Whatever tool resonates.
Use that tool. It's still an amazing tool. It's something that your soul resonates with. Use whatever your intuition tells you.
The only cool thing with tarot is that it has like the initiation stages in it. Which is basically with the major arcanas. So I think that's the difference, where it could be like more about learning occult
knowledge.
Tarot can help learn occult knowledge. More than just a tool.
Because when you learn tarot, like each card is kind of it makes you ask questions and do your research. It's kind of like a tool that makes you work.
If you want to delve into the occult more, like in depth.
And this work makes your mind to actually open up more. Like you lose more boundaries. But for some people, they use oracles in
Oracle
such
decks.
a crazy, amazing way. They're
Yeah.
so intuitive and so open.
Yeah.
They don't even need any information. The more
Yeah.
information they get, the more lost they become.
Yeah.
So if you love
It's
oracles,
because it's a tool, as you said. It's like
Yeah.
it's just at the end of the day, it's a tool.
and we're all different. And if I would explore the sacred geometry like you did, I would like, that's it.
You would-
Right
you
now,
would.
this account is not for me. Yeah.
Cool.
Charles, tips on reading tarot. Buy my book. No, I'm joking, because I'm not really actually in my book explaining how to read tarot. Go online. So
Yeah.
many amazing people
There's so
teaching
many.
you
Yeah,
how to read
yeah,
tarot. For me, what helped me a lot, journal. I opened a journal. It was like more than 100 pages. Like each tarot card, I would write down
Mhm.
everything that triggered me, like symbology, story, how it was created, what is symbolized, what's attached to it. Like every tarot card has a story, demon attached, angel attached, god attached, deity, some specific ritual. Like some tarot specific cards used for healing. One card can be used for invocation. One card can be used for coming into your gift, empowering, for protection. Tarot is a sick tool that connects to everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
So
amazing.
just do
And
your
also
research.
intuitive reading. Pull few cards and see what message you get right away without using your mind, without thinking too much. Just what comes to you, and then that's also a way to learn. It's intuitive, and then check what's on the card. What's the suit? Is it swords? Is it wands? Is it pentacles? Research numerology. What's the number of the card? What's the sigil on the card? You know, like kind of do it in
decipher.
Decipher
tarot.
Decipher it and reverse engineer it. See what it means first, and then reverse engineer and
see what it means for you.
Yeah, see what it means for you. Yeah.
Because you are you are the god of tarot when you start using it.
Yeah.
To me personally, guys, so much information on tarot online.
There's a lot.
I was learning hermetic deck through actually the stolen book from Golden Dawn Society, and the information there is so sick and so interesting. And then your guide's gonna send you all the information your way that you need.
That's very true.
Just start your research. It's all gonna come nowadays. So much info.
Like the moment you declare that you want to learn, your guides, your demons are gonna they're gonna align to you the information you need. They're gonna put it on your path. Yeah. Like
Richard's saying, manifesting abundance with pentacle suit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Use Wheel of Fortune, more abundance.
Wheel of Fortune.
Never ending abundance. Wheel of Fortune.
It's turning. It's always there. There's always abundance.
So guys, I think we're gonna end now.
Yes.
Happy dark Christmas.
Happy dark. Happy dark Merry Christmas. Like Christmas has a really dark story, guys. For you guys, I don't know, there's a very dark story behind Christmas. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's very dark. It's very, very dark in a negative way, not even in a positive way.
Not in your dark way.
Not in my dark way. It's like, I feel like a negative kind of like it has a lot to do with the rituals that involve sacrifices,
children sacrifice,
children sacrifice and stuff like that. A lot of the things that the Romans did. But now it became a happy holiday.
Nice So not everything how it looks like.
No, not every, exactly.
A lot of dark secrets.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, guys, thank you so much for staying with us, for sharing with us this amazing 2 hours.
Thank you very much.
And special day.
It's always very interesting and very amazing to do lives with you, and thank you for having me in our channel.
Thank you for letting me on my channel. Guys, check out the links in the description box below for Sef's channel if you haven't subscribed yet, or if you haven't watched his videos. I have, I think, website and your Patreon, because he shares a lot of sick information that he doesn't share with us anywhere else. Only Patreon.
It's for the hardcore people, for hardcore people who want to dive into alchemy and into more in depth. Yes,
thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining. Happy Dark Christmas.
Happy Dark Christmas. Thank you guys very much.
See you in the next live.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Happy Dark Christmas.